Giant tree branch came through the window.
Tony Soprano didn't die a hero. He lived long enough to prove he was a fraud. Tony Soprano is not a complex anti-hero.
How come I'm not making pots in Peru?
He's not a tormented soul burdened by the violent life he never chose. He's not even, as many fans insist, a good man who did bad things. No, Tony Soprano is scum, a cruel, narcissistic fraud cloaked in crocodile tears and faux introspection.
To kick upstairs to Tony Soprano will be an honor.
He is the American psyche at its most deluded, and the fact that anyone still mistakes him for a hero is more disturbing than any of the murders he orchestrated. Let's dispense with the mythology. Tony has no code, no morals, and certainly no empathy. He's a hypocrite who parades his supposed principles like a badge of honor, only to abandon them the moment they become inconvenient.
This way she can grow up to be a cocksucking slob, just like her mother.
When Ralphie killed Tracy, a defenseless young woman, Tony looked the other way. Ralph was a top earner, and that apparently outweighed the value of a human life.
So what? It was a fucking animal! 100 grand a piece!
But when Ralph later burned Tony's beloved horse, then came the righteous fury. The message was clear. A horse, a possession, meant more to Tony than a woman. Justice wasn't served, it was selectively dispensed, triggered by personal insult rather than moral outrage. This pattern persists. Tony allows Bobby's death to go unpunished in exchange for cash.
This guy, I'm threatening to cut his dick off.
Should call a nurse.
He's mumbling and rocking back.
He beats a man at the strip club simply for being irritating. He steals Ralph's girlfriend under the same tired pretense of moral superiority. He suffocates Carmela's autonomy while playing the supportive husband.
Nothing was going on, Christopher.
I should have made you walk home.
He lusts after his nephew's fiancée, indirectly catalyzing her death. He greenlights Vito's brutal murder to maintain favor with Phil Leotardo.
Rich, Tony, use some of those bundles to cover it.
Then gambles away the money meant for Vito's widow and children, despite his so-called code demanding otherwise.
Churchfield suffocated on his own blood.
And Christopher, that was no mercy killing. Tony kills him not out of compassion, but calculation. Christopher had become a liability, an emotional drain.
Giant tree branch came through the window.
The baby seat in the back of the car becomes a flimsy metaphor, allowing Tony to cast himself as a protector rather than what he truly is, a predator. Sleeping with Chris's fiancée afterward was the final spit on the grave. Even among his closest relationships, Tony reveals himself.
Brought your money.
With Hesh, one of his oldest friends, Tony becomes predatory over a debt and conveniently loses all concern for the man's sudden personal tragedy. While it's unlikely Tony orchestrated Renata's death, she died of a stroke according to the show's text. The very fact that people suspect otherwise is telling. That's how consistent his pattern of exploitation and treachery is. Even natural deaths feel suspicious in his presence.
Help defray medical costs, rehabilitation.
Paulie, his supposed loyal soldier, exemplifies the transactional nature of every relationship in Tony's orbit. When Tony falls into a coma, Paulie withholds money from Carmela. But the moment Tony wakes up, Paulie opens his wallet. Not out of love, but out of fear. It's not loyalty. It's rank opportunism.
From now on, every day is a gift.
Fans often point to Tony's occasional acts of kindness as evidence of depth, but what they truly demonstrate is his mastery of self-justification. He doesn't grow as a person. He grows more skilled at spinning his worst instincts into palatable narratives. The only moment approaching genuine restraint is his decision not to sleep with Adriana, a single boundary maintained amid a mountain of betrayals. Some argue he's not a villain because he cares about his family, but Tony's version of care is control.
I don't care how close you are. In the end, your friends are going to let you down.
His love for Carmela, Meadow, and AJ is conditional, self-serving, and performative. He cheats, lies, manipulates, gaslights, and then cloaks it all in tired declarations of family values and Catholic guilt. The tragedy of The Sopranos isn't that Tony's a bad man. It's that he's a convincing one. Convincing enough to fool not only those around him, but a significant portion of the audience. Viewers were initially led to believe there was depth behind the eyes, conflict, remorse, maybe even redemption.
Well, that's just to feed his children.
But by the end, it becomes glaringly clear. There's nothing there, just a man who refuses to change and a world that lets him get away with it. Tony Soprano is what happens when a violent, emotionally stunted man-child is given unchecked power and never faces real consequences. He's Joffrey with better PR, a monster not because he kills, but because he lies about why. He wraps every crime in the flag of morality, every betrayal in the language of love, every selfish act in a monologue about honor. And that, not the violence, not the corruption, is what makes him truly despicable. He is not just a bad man, he is a fraud, a wolf in a tracksuit, endlessly insisting he's just a misunderstood shepherd. If you saw through Tony's crocodile tears like I did,